I guess, what kind of stock do you put in this budget year?
Well, there'll be a few things we're looking for. Obviously, a path to budget balance. Of course, during the last campaign in 2015, the Prime Minister, or the candidate at the time, Justin Trudeau, promised that he would run 3 modest $10 billion deficits and bring us to balance in the 4th year. This is year number 4. And any document that we have seen from the Parliamentary Budget Officer and elsewhere has shown deficits as far as 2045 before the budget is being balanced, and that is unacceptable. That means more taxes, more service cuts in the future.
That was going to be my question. What is the impact of not having that path to balance that we often do hear about?
Well, it's very troubling, especially when the economy is going fairly well in the past few years. That's the time when you should be putting money aside for that rainy day, paying off debt, getting your financial house in order just in case the bad times do arrive. And we have seen a report just last week that has said the economy has basically grown, stalled. It's come to a halt. And right now, the federal government, the cupboards are bare as it is. And if you're maxing out the credit card already, what do you do then? So they have not prepared this country for the impact that hopefully doesn't come, but if it does, they are not prepared for it at all. I guess they just keep digging, and at some point, the bill will come in and somebody will be responsible for it.
And that's a challenge as well, is who that will be and how that will impact what's happening at that time.
Yeah, and as I said before, the government claims, well, we're spending money to give something from one person to another person. We're investing in this, investing in that. But if the majority of the economy, as if they're saying, if we cut this back, the economy will stop. If the economy is based on sustained government deficit spending, we've got a lot of problems. And they have not created the environment that is allowing private sector business to be competitive in this country.
And I guess there's also a difference between an infrastructure spend versus a program spend.
Thank you,
and perhaps you can explain that for where we put our dollars.
That's excellent. Thank you for bringing that up. So what the government has done is program spending, which means locked in and permanent. So something will have to be cut or taxes will have to be raised in order to bring the budget back to balance, basically pay for what is being spent. And when the recession happened in 2008 to 2014, the government at the time decided, okay, we're going to give the economy a shot in the arm. We're going to do that by spending and investing in infrastructure, which was targeted and temporary. So as the years, it was a lot of money at first and then tapered off as it got closer, and the budget became balanced in 2015 as promised. And it sucks to say no to people. You always want to be the one that says yes, but unfortunately you have to say no, and the tap slowly got turned off and the budget was balanced. But unfortunately, the current government has decided that they are just going to spend the cupboards dry. So that to us has been something we have focused a lot on. Other issues we'll be looking at is infrastructure funding in this budget. A lot of municipalities in this area and beyond have said and complained quite loudly that infrastructure dollars are not easily come by. They're not flowing. The application process is complicated. A lot of times it's the federal government not linking their priorities with municipalities or provinces, which is a problem. And I always think the best government is local government. They're the ones that should have the most flexibility to use the dollars as they so choose. So that's another issue. High-speed internet, of course, we have talked many, many times on this program about high-speed internet. The Eastern Ontario Regional Network, which is a group paid for by the Eastern Ontario municipalities, Peterborough County, all of the municipalities are part of that, as is Kawartha Lakes and Haliburton County, are still waiting on a proposal that's been on the desk of the federal government for coming upon 2 years now. And if we want to hit this construction season in 2020, we have to get the approvals going, because as you know, you have to renegotiate an agreement, then you have to do the request for proposals, then you have to approve that. So the timelines are getting tighter and tighter, and we need to move on this now. So I'm looking for a commitment, and rumor has it, I don't know when the show's going to air, but rumor has it that the provincial government is very close to coming up to an announcement. So it's time the federal government follows suit with that. So that's something I'll be looking forward to as well.